I guess folks never update your software.
It's so confusing. So,
Click here when live for stream info and more. It says okay, y'all. Really, software updates. The
so
worst.
are we really live?
Yes.
And unless somebody's talking to us, will we really know
That I don't
if
know.
anybody is out there?
Let's find out. There's.
Facebook just said Lenny B is live now, so
Oh well, what's she doing?
I don't know.
All right.
Hey there.
We'll let a few people join up for this live. I'm sorry, you may notice that we have Lindsay doing the real work around here today, so we don't have her sitting next to us.
That's right.
So our
we miss
apologies.
Lindsay.
But she's doing just a bang up job helping out in our finance department today.
She is finance today.
Why is she finance today?
Because Ed, who normally is finance, he got married on Sunday,
Yes.
and on Monday he got on a plane to go to London and Paris.
That's right.
So if you're going to have a honeymoon, I mean, that's awesome.
Fly out of
So-
Texas before the winter storm. That's what you do.
Right. So we haven't opened here for some time because it's been ice. We've all been iced in. There is a ton of people without
Yeah.
power. It's just crazy.
So an update on
So-
the weather that Texas experienced was that we had a winter storm in Texas. We don't get those often. They usually last only 2, maybe 3 days, like this one did. But it's not a snow situation. It's an inch of freezing rain.
Yeah.
And if you go around all of Austin, Round Rock, all of Central Texas right now, it looks like a hurricane came through because so many trees have had their
Are down.
limbs broken off or split
It was
in half.
yesterday. We opened about noon, and we had to like drive around all the trees, and it was kind of a maze to get here. Some people couldn't get through just because the ice was so
Yeah.
thick.
So it's not that we can't drive in snow. That's true because we never get it, but it's that
It's
not
the ice that just gets
it's
here.
ice and
Nobody can drive in
no
ice.
one can drive in ice and if you want to say yeah well just Texas, well not even our environment can handle an ice storm like that, as evidenced by how many tree limbs. You can't buy a chainsaw in Central Texas right now. They sold out as
Yeah.
soon as people could go get them because our trees just started dropping limbs and breaking in half and falling over
Yeah,
due
and
to
we
the
have
weight of the
guys.
ice.
We have people that couldn't come to work because they couldn't get here, and we probably have a ton of people. I don't know the number, some astronomical number that still don't have power, and many of them won't until Monday.
Right.
So, did you have down stuff at your house?
Tree limbs, yes. We have some very sad cases, front yard and backyard. My kids wanted to play in the backyard the whole time because that's what they like to do. But we couldn't let them in the backyard because limbs were falling.
Yeah.
So we have some pretty
was
extensive damage at my house.
crazy.
That's what I'll be doing this weekend.
Somebody had a tree limb fall on their car. Oh, Kurt did.
It was Kurt, yes.
Yeah. Kurt actually came to my house last night to take a shower because he hasn't had power and the limbs have crushed his car. So good thing he has 2 cars.
There, does he? Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know how he
Either
got
way.
there, but
let's
crazy.
catch up.
Anyway,
Let's catch up
who's
here.
with us?
Nikki,
Hi, Nikki.
happy Friday. Norman in San Diego. I'm going to
Ooh,
guess Norman in San Diego is in San Diego. And Facebook user says, hi, guys. Hi. Taylor, and hopefully y'all are staying warm. We are warming up, Taylor. We're going to hit the high 40s, maybe the low 50s today. So the ice is gone. Ice is gone unless it's a real shaded area. We had a slight refreeze last night.
Yeah, it was icy this
Michael,
morning. A lot of wrecks.
Total eclipse of the it's going to be directly over Round Rock on April 8th. Are you ready?
Wow, that's cool to know.
I didn't know I needed to be ready, but now I will start preparing myself.
April 8th. All right. Well, thank you. That is super cool.
So
We need to get that out on Facebook.
Yep. April
All right.
8th, total eclipse of the heart happening in Round Rock.
No, total eclipse
Of the heart.
moon.
You can't
Moon?
say total
Sun?
eclipse without finishing it.
Is this sun or moon? You can eclipse both of them, right?
Yeah.
Help me out.
Yeah.
All right.
Eclipsical thinking. Okay.
I'll look it
Everybody, it is show season. We know because we're racking our brains on how we're actually going to accomplish our next show.
Yeah, this was our planning week, and it totally got shot to hell. So,
We put it on ice.
oh,
So it is show season. We know the Houston show is next week, correct?
yes, and then the Austin show is the following
And
week.
that's the one that we're closest to. So that's where
Yeah.
we will be attending is the Austin show.
You can think of us on Valentine's Day
That's-
because we'll be loading units into the show, probably around 70 units going to the show. So here's my question. You know, Clint and I do these shows all the time, every year, twice a year.
It used to be 3 times a year.
There is a lot of talk about whether shows are really worth it to dealerships. There are a lot of dealerships who are bowing out of shows. Are they worth it? Do you guys think they're worth it for you? Does the RV public need shows or want shows anymore?
Do you go to shows?
I guess.
And even if you don't, are you at least interested? Would it be like, be a neat thing to do? I wouldn't mind doing it. Like what's your take? Are shows worth
Yeah.
it? Or
Do you go to look? Do you go to buy? Do you go to just entertain yourself, see what's new?
Mm-hmm.
It's warm inside. I mean, really. Tell us shows. What is your thoughts on RV shows? Are they a huge waste of time? Our show probably cost us $100,000.
Just for us to be there
Mm-hmm.
and have space set aside for us to bring units.
Which is why RV dealers are saying, are they really worth it? And we used to count them on how many we sold at the show. And really, we can't do that anymore because you can't sell enough at the show
No.
to make your money back.
No.
So the question is, what is this worth it?
I can see you.
Is it worth it?
I don't either. You can put it over there by
Yeah.
where you're sitting.
We also have no school because of our ice days, so we have lots of short people this week. Yesterday and today is the only time we've been here, but it's been fun to meet everyone's children.
So again, go ahead and comment to us. Do you do shows? Do you see value in shows? Would you be interested in shows? As PJ was saying, I mean, we couldn't possibly sell enough at a show to really make it instantly worth our while, but it
Right.
does generate some
There's
interest.
no automatic return.
Oftentimes, people see what they want, and the purchasing may happen over the next month or so.
So Clint, what do you think we'll see at this show? Do you think we'll see something different than we normally do?
A big thing that I think the industry is doing is they're catching on to people wanting to get further away from standard RV parks. So they're going, whatever their starting point is, RV parks, they're going a little bit more wild to state parks and national parks. If they're already doing state
little more
parks and
wild.
national parks, then maybe they're going to BLM land or just open range and all that. So you're seeing the manufacturers beefing up what have been their main lines with more beefy suspension and maybe some bold off-road graphics.
So more off-grid, off-road
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
Just notions.
I mean, that's been the trend, but
And we're seeing
Really?
it. I mean, RPod, IBEX. Well, IBEX was already kind of off-road, but they're going more in. RPod, getting a big.
what do they call that?
It's a Kurt suspension on it.
Yeah, but what do they have a name for it? The beast mode?
Yeah.
Is that what they call it?
On an RPod. I mean, I know that technically a frog or a toad is some form of a beast, but I don't think that I'd ever thought of frogs and toads as beast mode.
Did you see that Facebook post of that giant frog that was like this big?
I didn't.
A toad?
I didn't.
It was so creepy. Okay, Google it. I bet you'll find it.
Yeah.
Largest toad.
So, so we do need comments to help us to think through this. I'm not seeing any comments come in. Maybe our comment section has, the connection has failed us. In
Maybe
which case,
nobody cares about shows.
there's a chance they're commenting and it's just not feeding them to us on this. I'm going to go ahead and mute that phone real quick.
Oh.
Talk to PJ. Talk to PJ.
Yeah, because when I go to shows, because I'm in the business, I like looking around and seeing what's out there. I don't get to go to other dealers' lots and wander around and see the new stuff, so I like seeing that. I don't know if you guys really like seeing that kind of stuff, or whether you're looking for a deal, or maybe looking for something that you hadn't seen. Everybody's going to have stuff that has a little bit of a tweak to it. It's, but I guess my question is, what are people really using? What are you looking for? Would you buy a trailer because it had a beefier suspension? Is that, I mean, I remember when outside kitchens came out. All of a sudden, people were putting outside kitchens, and that was like, oh man, I got one with an outside kitchen. Now there's a few that it's kind of standard on, but it doesn't seem to be as big of a deal.
Right, it's not the buzzword. What are the buzzwords right now? Obviously, you can't get away from the lithium ion and inverter buzzwords, really.
Is it a standard or is it an option in a lot of places?
Right. So
I don't know.
And I think that those have been growing buzzwords. Like they've already been on the radar.
Yeah.
But adding the word standard or option next to lithium ion and all. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Brian, Render Connect. I'm trying. I am. We went to the Tampa show a few weeks ago to see what was new. We have a 2022 Imagine XLS 22 MLE and wanted to see what changes it made to our model in 2023.
Oh yeah, I hadn't thought of that.
We had fun
Yeah.
just seeing what was new and getting ideas for mods and upgrades we could do to ours.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, just seeing maybe things that are different or that you might want to add. I wish shows had more, what's the word? Training isn't the right word, but more information on stuff like that. But unfortunately, that's not, there aren't companies that do a lot of that. Dealerships don't make money just providing information on upgrades at shows. So I guess
Yeah.
that would be cool. That would be
And-
something to do.
And this kind of comes back to the difference between like automotive dealerships and RV dealerships, where an automotive dealership typically handles basically a overall brand, Ford, Lincoln, Mercury, and
Right.
and the updates are kind of similar across the board, and you're still only working with those three product lines. Whereas here at Princess Craft and any other dealership, you have probably 10 to 20 different manufacturers, and each one of those manufacturers may be supplying you 3, 4, 5 very different brands. So the sales staff and the marketing staff trying to keep up with those updates and put like on the outside, like here's all the updates from 2022 to 2023. That's a real big bear of a job.
Yeah, and we haven't had a lot of updates over the pandemic, so now we're
Yeah.
starting to see some things. But you know what? At this show, we're going to have some new stuff that you haven't seen before.
It's true.
It just hasn't been out there.
Well,
and
you've mentioned this.
manufacturers click into that and say, well, we need to get this out to the shows. And that's fun.
Yeah. So two things. First thing, you've mentioned over the past 2 years, manufacturers were just trying to catch up to orders. So there
Yeah.
wasn't a whole lot of innovation over the past 2 years. So maybe we'll see more innovation now that they are caught up.
Maybe so.
And,
I've certainly seen changes in the manufacturers that we carry.
Yeah.
So it'll be fun to see what everybody else carries.
and then the next thing is, you're exactly right. Some of the things that we're bringing haven't actually hit dealerships' sales floors yet. So this
That's
might
right.
be a season of them testing the waters with their innovations or new
Yeah.
brands. So maybe show season is, we look at it from the standpoint of what's it do for us as a dealership. We are asking the question, what's it do for the customer? But maybe there's that component, what it does for the manufacturers.
Yeah.
They're looking for input and information too.
Yeah. We're lucky, and I hate to, I mean, the truth is manufacturers sometimes like to premiere things with us, so we get to like do videos. We put out more information than most, so it helps them spread the word. So we're fortunate. We're going to have some cool stuff that you may have seen before in videos if you follow online, but if you're not paying close attention to every piece of information, which how could you honestly?
Yeah.
Then you might see some new things that just haven't hit your radar. So that would be fun, and that can bring ideas of mods of something you already have.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and Taylor, you want to go to a show for first-time buyers, first-time attendees. It is fun to see a whole bunch at one place, and they're inside, and it's just kind of like a Disneyland of RVs.
I would hope where he is located right now that it's inside. because they're in the Northwest.
Oh, you're in
Yeah.
Portland, right?
I would almost hope that any time of year up in his neck of the woods that they would hold it inside because of the rain chances at least.
Well, I think Portland is completely no, it's Portland, Maine, that's in trouble, and you're not in Maine.
No, they're the other side.
You're the other Portland. Maybe that's what I heard. Maybe I'm confused. I heard something about Portland this morning on the news, but yeah, it's in Austin. Our show is at the Austin Convention Center, and we load in on Valentine's Day, and the show opens 2 days later on Thursday afternoon and goes through Sunday. So
And
it's
it's
three and a half very long days for us.
It's an expected chaos
Yes.
because we have employees here and we have some vehicles and some trucks, so we haul them ourselves. And if you know anything about Austin, it's up and down I-35. So it's several hours of
Several hours?
Yeah.
It's all day and half the night.
Okay, it's more than several hours of trying to choose something that is wise to hitch up safely, and then hit the road and safely drive
Yeah.
down through Austin and load up downtown.
We're sounding a little bit whiny here.
No.
It's a lot of work.
No, it's explanation.
It's true.
It can get the blood pumping at times.
true.
There's a little bit of
Yeah, we have some stories.
adrenaline going.
Stories, as all campers do. Our transporting has stories. So, I don't know. What's the best part about going to a show? If you haven't been to a show, what's the best part? It is not the concession food, by the way. So don't come hungry. Don't ever go to a show hungry.
They had some good stuff, but it was 4 times as expensive as as anywhere else.
Their coffee lattes that I drink are fabulous, but they're like $12, $13.
Yeah, it's just walk outside
It's
the
like,
building and across the street to anywhere
Starbucks
else.
is cheap compared to the convention center. And when it comes to coffee, there is no maybe you skip it kind of thing. But the hamburgers, the sandwiches, it's just awful. So
Yeah.
food's not great. What is great about this show? What other things besides seeing a ton of RVs is cool?
First off, seeing a ton of RVs is overwhelming.
Okay, yeah.
But it can be
Wear comfy shoes.
But isn't that what we do from time to time? We need some overwhelming. Like that's why I go to places with roller coasters and rides like that, because every now and then I need a day of overwhelming.
I guess that's true.
It
is kind of like full on. One of the things that I think is cool about the show is that most dealerships, they, put up camp chairs and rugs and lights, and they put dishes and things inside, pillows. They make them look all pretty. I like seeing that because I like walking in and thinking, oh, I could use that in my camper, or that looks great, or that's really useful. Not necessarily a mod, but I don't know. Sometimes it's just the outdoor space under the awning that they've set up, and I'm like, aw, I wish my outdoors could look like this. And you know what? It could. All you need is that rug, that chair, that propane campfire, whatever it is. So I like that. It's kind of like going through and touring a whole bunch of model homes or something. It gives you ideas.
Absolutely.
Decor ideas.
Absolutely.
I mean, along with, of course, all the mods, all the cool stuff. But yeah, I think that's cool.
So you like staging, and
I do like staging.
and especially if it's staging with knickknacks and things that make it feel like what you want it to feel like. Not
Yes.
necessarily the functions. Not like they staged this one with a really nice looking water pressure regulator. That sets off the scene.
It might for somebody.
but you're more the feel, the environment kind of piece.
Yeah, and just to be clear, I don't love all the frou-frou. I mean, I don't need a vase of flowers and little knickknacks, but sometimes it just is nice to see things put
Hold on, let me
together.
set up my phone as a camera so you can see what Lindsay's doing to us through the door right now. I'm
She's
gonna
making
patch
fun
you
of us.
through right here, if I can.
So Lindsay's going to join us momentarily.
Possibly,
apparently.
we'll see.
So
Am I distracting you?
I'm a little worried about this.
Okay, I won't do that.
But what about?
She's right over there, by the way.
what about our shows? We've started adding in, what do they call them? Like
Seminars?
seminars. Thank you. English. Sometimes
it's
I'm losing
difficult.
words.
It's difficult.
So they have seminars that might talk about winterizing your camper, or how to travel, or apps that you can use to buy a camper, or what to look for on a used one. All those kinds of
Sometimes
things.
they pull in famous
You know?
YouTubers to tell their
Tell
stories and all that.
stories. Yeah,
What I like
yeah.
is, whether they're famous YouTuber or not, is someone who can come in and just be a storyteller and say what they've done, where they've been. Because sometimes you already have a dream, but it seems a little undoable, and then you meet someone at one of these seminars, face to face, and they are actually a real person, kind of like you, and they are inspirational. Like, no, it's more attainable, it's more in reach than you think.
Yeah, and I think sometimes I see these seminars, and especially with people like that, they're super busy, and sometimes they're just dead. So I always wonder, is this what people would like to see at shows?
Yeah, right.
We apparently don't have showgoers. We're getting no comments here.
It's funny because I've
So-
seen crickets at shows, and all we have are crickets.
Well, maybe we picked a bad topic, Clint.
Well, that's on me, so deal with it.
No, I think the shows are important topics. I would love to get feedback on that. So, maybe when we post this out in the wild, people will have comments there that will help us.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of work for us. Good, Jason's going. Yay! So we're hoping to have things that are useful for people, and if we knew what they were, I would try to do more of that.
Right.
Right now, we just try to set up campers and trailers and have enough people there to answer questions. What else could we do?
Well,
what would be fun?
We tend to have the highest density of manufacturer representatives there in our area.
We do, because we feed them and we give them alcohol after the show, honestly.
I wasn't going to give away those secrets, but go for it.
But that's because that's where we're going.
The
so.
fact
It is
is,
fun.
we like the manufacturers we work with, and
Yes, we partner with
they
them for
come
sure.
in and they know their products, and frankly, if we bring 70 units, we at this location have only 3 full-time salesmen, and then the rest of us jump in, so we may double that number on the sales floor. That's
So we'll
still
have 6 or 7.
That's still a lot of people and a lot of units. So bringing in the manufacturer reps, they know their stuff, they care, they love the community, they love their product. It adds to the environment.
Okay, do you guys like talking to manufacturers reps at the show, or does it feel a little like pressure? Because I have heard it both ways. And I don't want to ever feel like anybody's getting pressured, but sometimes the reps jump in and they grab you and they just start going.
Oh, they're
You can't
excited.
Get away.
Yes.
Michael, we love you. But
Well, no, they're excited, and they know this. And here's any people. Every rep is an individual, so their presentation and way of doing things is different. But so is every customer or anyone who's just an attendee.
I guess that's true.
They're all different, so they're all going to have a different take on that experience and
Yeah.
that opportunity.
I
So-
remember last time we put on a show, we had a big request to have food. Could you just have snacks there? Because people get hungry. And I'm like, yeah, I'd love to. They won't let us. They won't let us.
That's like city ordinances and stuff like that.
Can't give a
And it's the convention center. The convention center doesn't want competitive food options. So by
Of
contract,
course.
yeah, yes, sometimes you can feel pressured.
Okay, so Michelle, is there something we can do to help that? How do you, I mean, if you want to learn about a product, I don't know. How do we fix that? How do we fix that?
And again, I think that we're talking about personalities.
Are we? So do we train our reps and we tell them, look, lean back a little bit? How do we help you? Because I don't want to feel pressured. But if I want to know about something,
And it also comes down to, I'm the personality and I have to get over myself. But I'm a bit of a personality that sometimes even someone coming up to me and saying, "Hey, I see you're looking at this thing. What you think? That enough can feel like pressure to me. And if I'm interested, I'll humor them. Right? I get it. It feels like pressure, and it takes very little for me to feel like pressure. I'm already kind of wound up.
Yeah.
But that's my personality, and I recognize that. That's me.
Mm.
You know? So I own that much. There have been instances where I've said no, just looking or something like that, and it's continued, and then it's like, okay, this is you.
So Michelle, is that what you say? No, I'm just looking around. Do you try to push them off? There's always that balance. So
I've only been to one show and got bombarded, but this was not with Princess Craft. Cool.
well, thank you. But I hope.
Yeah, bombarded.
Yeah.
Like every turn, every corner, every trailer to feel like they got heat-seeking missile reps. That's not cool.
Yeah, and on the other side, yes, sometimes I see our guys not wanting to put a lot of pressure on people, so they wait to be asked. So they're sitting there on their phone, texting or whatever they're doing. I don't know, don't want to know. But yeah, because they don't want to put on a lot of pressure. And I'm like, no, because who's going to come ask you a question if you're sitting there on your phone? So yeah, Michelle, it is tough, but yeah, I hate that we have that reputation and that it feels that way going to shows.
So
we're going to have to be sure we lean back a bit.
So how to have reps and salesmen in the environment and in a very approachable way so people know that they are there as a resource, that they're friendly, they're knowledgeable, and ready at the moment, and not to cross the line into the bombardment and the situations that cause discomfort. How to make it just apparent that we have quality, knowledgeable people there at your, reach, within arm's reach. Ready to assist. Maybe that's the line of thinking we should be going down.
Well, we should maybe help all of our reps to understand our philosophy, because I can't change the world, but and I think for the most part we have nice guys, but they're salesmen. That's what they're there for.
Right.
But
and they are
I don't know,
excited.
it's like
they get free food, they get free drinks after the fact, and they like their products, and this is an opportunity. It's kind of fun to come to these things for these guys.
Yeah.
Well, early in the season, late in the season, they're a little bit tired.
Well, Michelle, I'm going to work really hard at trying to let people know, hey, just introduce you to everybody and just let them know, hey, I'm here. I'm with this. Here's what my role is if you need me. And hopefully it won't feel pressure. Yeah, I think that's hard. It's because, I tell the story about somebody who was telling me, I'll make it quick. They said that they weren't getting helped at the store. And I said, well, what did you need? They said, well, I need to buy a shirt for this wedding, and I was in a hurry. And I said, okay, well, when you walked in, did anybody come to help you? So, well, one lady at first said, can I help you? And I said, well, what'd you say? He said, no, I'm just looking around. But then I couldn't find it. And I'm like, well, you told her you were just looking. So if you don't tell her what you need.
Which is code for leave me alone. Everybody knows that.
If you don't tell her what you need, I need it for a wedding, and I need it really fast. And here's the size and the color. They can't help you. So that's always the dilemma, because people don't want to be pressured and they don't want to be approached. So if you guys have ideas on how we can meet in the middle, I think I'm just going to have people just say, hey, here's who I am. Glad to help you if you have any questions on this, and back up.
Okay. Yeah.
That's my approach. That's what we'll try to impress on them. Thanks for the feedback. Let me know if you have any other ideas.
All right, I'm going to get to Brian's comment. Maybe bring Cody and have Ask an RV Tech live and in person, similar to last week's video.
That is such a great idea.
I mean, what's Cody doing anyways?
Fixing RVs here. I mean, we could bring people here. We could do a general RV repair, and then maybe a few hours later do a lithium solar conversation.
There's something to this. So we can maybe work this out.
Because that's what people always want to know
Right.
about.
And maybe
that
we
be
can,
right?
you think we could cycle Cody and Matt and Daniel? We just kind of, we put them on our schedule.
Our three do
and,
all those.
and we let them an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever. And it's not just a continuous thing. It's not like the whole day we're cycling these guys. It's like, there's a morning session and an afternoon session and whatnot. And they can come up there for that and then come back to work if it's, maybe we can have some schedule. Now, the question is, would this compete with the seminars that are already going on by the expo? Would they have
We
a
can
problem
look
with
at their schedule and go in between, but
Yeah.
honestly, what do I care?
I don't know. What do you care?
If it's live, if it's online,
Yeah.
what does it matter? The people that want to be there can be there, and then we can take questions online too. So Brian, you're thinking like we did last week's video, we'll just schedule that for our Friday noon live at the show, and then maybe do a Saturday noon live or something.
Does the show open Thursday or does it open Friday?
It opens Thursday at noon.
So maybe nothing on Thursday, but it's all day Friday and it's all day Saturday and it's half day Sunday.
It's all day Sunday.
It's all day Sunday?
Yeah, till 5.
Whew.
So we could do a Friday noon and a Saturday noon, and maybe at 2:00 too, since they're there, and because that's the busiest time. And just we can coordinate, because I think the off-grid power supply is always a question.
Yeah.
All right, great idea.
What if
Thank
we
you, Brian.
had built into our kind of layout a place where people can sit and be comfortable, and we have an area for someone to engage them, speaking style, and we did something when people are doing that lull at lunchtime or 2:00, because they'll be snacking, they want to sit down, they've already been touring, they want to be snacking or eating lunch, and it can kind of be set up that way. I mean, I don't know, just
Okay.
spitballing.
Let's see how much space we have left, though. We've got things that keep being added in, so I don't know how much room we'll have.
We just
but
need
we'll
one.
figure it out.
We'll get one big trailer and host it inside the big trailer. All right.
So, and Brian, did you say you're coming to the show?
Working way back from Arizona.
From Florida. Yeah. Well, like I said, it's right out. It's the weekend after Valentine's Day. So if you're in the area, yeah, come hang out at the show with us. That would be awesome.
Yeah, make your plans well. Get your sites in, because it's a little bit busy in Austin during that time frame. So make sure you have your plans kind of set.
And Michelle, thanks for your feedback. Very helpful. Very helpful. All right. Well, I don't know. Anything else we need to think about at our show? Anything you hate about the shows? Anything that you'd love to see? I mean, we've got some great perspectives here. Anything else you guys can think of?
My is as someone who is there at these shows, it's a concrete floor, and I haven't found in 5 years the footwear that somehow keeps me from feeling so spent in my joints so I need to work on insoles or something.
Okay, send it.
And that's a tip
Send us
for
your favorite insoles,
insoles, not insults.
or those two.
But on anyone who's coming to these things, come comfortable, come dressed for it. You're going to be on your feet. You're going to be
Relax.
up and down
Yes.
stairs, in and out of these units. So be ready.
Yeah.
Just prepare your body for,
Come comfortable and well fed. That is our advice.
because I could
We
go.
did a whole podcast on
Sure.
how to survive a show,
Yep,
didn't we?
we did.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing. Let's say you go to like Fort Worth always has, I think it's in the spring, a fantastic outdoor art festival, and it's huge. It's down near the old stockades and all that, and it's the same sort of thing. You don't realize how hard it is on your body to be on your feet and looking at all this cool stuff all day until
right.
the end of the day or the next day or the next day.
It's exhausting.
So on the front end of it, take care of yourself, choose the right shoes, stay hydrated. It matters, because you'll be having so much fun you won't realize that you're wrecking your joints.
And if you're really shopping for something new, the best time to come is the first day that it opens, because it's a thinner crowd on Thursdays, at least at our show. That's the thin time. Friday midday is slow as well, but Thursday afternoon it's a nice time